Hey everybody, welcome back to a very special live stream. I'm going to be talking about Joseph Parker versus Martin BAKOLE. Joseph Parker, of course, fighting from New Zealand, and Martin BAKOLE from Congo. Obviously, they train at different paces, but man, this is going to be an epic fight, an epic fight matchup, as I've called it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, leave your comments as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because this is going to be quite the fight. So let's get into it because let's get into some imagery here because it's just going to be so exciting, I think, and surprise matchup there. So it's Joseph Parker there from New Zealand on the left, and of course we've got Martin BAKOLE on the right there, a big man fighting from Congo there, and obviously Joseph Parker is a Pacific Islander. They're pretty strongly built, so this is going to be a fun matchup for sure. So some of the details about this. The event is Saturday, February the 22nd, and of course the location is going to be in Kingdom Arena, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. There's plenty of video feed about that. Looks pretty exciting at the venue. The venue event name is going to be the Last Crescendo, which is going to be pretty interesting, and of course that is exciting. This heavyweight boxing match is scheduled for 12 rounds, so it's going to be pretty epic. That would favor Joe Parker, who's probably the fittest heavyweight, and of course with BAKOLE coming in at late notice and flying all the way from Congo about 48 hours earlier, it's going to be tough from the jet lag as well. But he has been training. We'll get into a bit about that later. So the title on the line. So there's title on the line. Joseph Parker's WBO interim heavyweight title is at stake. The fight was originally planned as an IBF heavyweight title defense by Daniel Dubois against Parker, but Dubois withdrew due to illness. I understand it's some sort of virus, and of course he didn't pass the doctor's check or something like that. BAKOLE stepped in as a late replacement, and of course BAKOLE is one of the people fear in the heavyweights because he's a powerful puncher as well. So when you get to, he's a big man as well. So we'll talk about that. It's unclear if this new matchup retains its status as an IBF title eliminator that was initially considered as such. Now the background, of course, Joseph Parker was set to face Daniel Dubois, the IBF heavyweight champion, until Dubois fell ill just 2 days before the fight, which was announced on Thursday, February the 20th there. This led to Martin BAKOLE being confirmed as a replacement opponent within hours. This has caused an absolute fuss online and in the boxing community. It is a pretty big deal. So on short notice, BAKOLE accepted the fight because it's a huge opportunity for BAKOLE to fight Joseph Parker there. Accept the fight approximately 48 hours notice, traveling over 3,800 miles from the Democratic Republic of Congo to Riyadh. So big journey there. And I think he took civics. He didn't take a private jet, as I understand it. With the journey involving flights from Congo to Ethiopia, then Dubai, and finally Saudi Arabia. So you got jet lag, long travel. But man, he's hungry for the fight, and he's backing himself. He arrived on Friday, February the 21st, and missed the ceremony weigh-in due to traveling days. We're going to show a little bit of Joseph Parker's weigh-in there. So yeah, pretty awesome. So let's have a look at the breakdown of the fighter profiles. We've got Joseph Parker on the left. He's had 35 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draws with 23 knockouts. His nationality is New Zealand, and of course, ethnic group there is Pacific Island. And of course, his stance is orthodox. Recent form on a 5-week string, five-fight win streak, and he's fought at least 2 out of those 5 have been top-tier world-class heavyweights. In fact, some of the most feared there, including notable victories over Deontay Wilder from the United States. That was a decision back in December 2023, and Zhilei Zhang. That decision was March 2024 after being knocked down twice, and he's a big man too, right? So some similarities here with our fighter today that he'll be fighting against Martin BAKOLE. It's going to be pretty epic there. Now, his rankings, he's ranked number 5 by the IBF, and this is Joseph Parker, ranked number 5 by the IBF and number 3 by the Ring in the heavyweight division. He's weighed in a career heaviest 267 pounds, which is crazy, but that's going to give him some slightly heavier punches based on his coach. He's punching slightly heavier. He's going to probably need that against this big strong man here, Martin BAKOLE, in this epic fight match. And we're going to talk about some of the styles there in the matchup. So his trainer as well is Andy Lee, a very good trainer, and has been doing a good job, obviously, with 5 wins with 2 big names in there, Wilder and Zhang as well from China. Now, Martin BAKOLE, Obviously coming up the ranks, 21 wins, 1 loss and 0 draws with 16 knockouts. His nationality, of course, he's from Congo. He is based in Scotland, so I think he's probably been training a lot there. His stance is orthodox as well, so that matches up quite nicely to each other. His recent form, he's on a 10-fight win streak. So Joe Parker on 5 win streak, he's on a 10. Of course, Joseph Parker fighting some of the very, very best to be there, with his most recent win being a 5th-round knockout on the previously unbeaten Jared Anderson on August the 3rd, 2024. That was in LA in the United States, which is pretty awesome. Kind of cool. Hey, we got Bashir NZ in house here. My business friend, I found out, is in Parker's corner. What a shame, but this is also good. Hey, I'm a Kiwi from New Zealand, so you know who I'm going to back there. That's probably the way. And we've got Hexcavator there from as well from the USA. Big shout out to you. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. So his ranking number 2 by the WBA. This is Martin BAKOLE. Number 4 by the WBC, number 2 by the WBO, number 3 by the IBF, and number 6 by the ring at heavyweight. So he is ranked really high in the top 5 as well. So this is going to be a powerful matchup. Now, the weight, he did not attend the public weigh-in due to travel. His last recorded weight was 284 pounds against Jared Anderson on August 2024. So 284 pounds compared to Joseph Parker, 267. So he's definitely a heavier man there. His trainer is Billy Nelson, who's an interesting character. You should definitely check him out. Now, his promoter is Ben Shalom from Boxer there with 2 X's. So there we go. Now, on the fight card context, main event's going to have Arthur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol 2 for the undisputed light heavyweight titles. That's the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, and the rings belt. So there's a lot on board there. That's the main event. Parker and BAKOLE, funnily enough, in this heavyweight matchup, which is just going to be fireworks. This fight serves as the co-main event or a significant undercard bout, depending on the broadcasting schedule there. And of course, there's going to be many other notable fighters on fights as well. There's going to be, including Zhang, who Joseph Parker has beaten before with the WBC interim heavyweight title there as well. So there's going to be a couple lightweight titles, middleweight, and interim as well on this fight card at in Saudi Arabia there. So that's going to be pretty interesting. The ring walks are scheduled for approximately 9:40 p.m. GMT time. That's UK. And of course, that translates to 4:40 p.m. Eastern in the United States and 1:40 p.m. PT in the United States there. In New Zealand time, it's going to be 8:40 a.m. Tomorrow. My time, it's currently Saturday in the evening here. So that's still about 10 and almost 11 hours away from now. And that's going to be New Zealand time on Sunday. So pretty cool. So that's where we're going to be on there. You can obviously watch it on pay-per-view on DAZN as well. And it's going to be also in the UK on TNT Sports Box and Sky Sports Box as well. Apparently the cost is going to be about $20 on DAZN or TNT in the UK and about £20 on Sky there as well. So there's some of the prices there. People are going to watch it, which is kind of interesting. Now, the stakes are pretty high on this fight. Parker defends his WBO interim heavyweight title. The winner, of course, becomes the mandatory challenger for the Ersk full WBO heavyweight title. So there's a lot on the card for this. Though Ersk's pursuit of an undisputed fight with De Bruis, the IBF champion, may delay that mandatory enforcement due to a rotation agreement among the sanctioning bodies. So there's a little bit of that going on as well. Some of the risks and opportunities. Parker, fully prepared from a training camp, faces a dangerous, hard-hitting BAKOLE, who's stepping in without a full camp. So that may make an effect. Now, we all know these big, heavy fighters like BAKOLE with some big punches, definitely going to be a challenge despite being tired and jet lag. And of course, with the relevant, he's been training, but perhaps not at the same level as Parker has been for this dedicated fight against De Bruis. BAKOLE then often called the most avoided heavyweight, and that's a real big fear, right? He's the most avoided heavyweight, BAKOLE, because he has one of those big, heavy punches. In fact, he's got 3 good punches, and he's a heavy knockout puncher there, and he's very accurate. That's the other thing to do with BAKOLE. He has a chance to leap into title contention with a win, building on his knockout of Jared Anderson, which is going to be pretty cool. Now, what's in it? What's the treasury? What's in the bag for these guys? The estimates are suggesting that Parker will earn about 1.6 million pounds, which is about $2 million US. While BAKOLE, stepping in at the last minute, expect to receive approximately 475 pounds, or $600,000. Pretty good payday, probably well worth coming over for. And of course, the weigh-in drama. Parker weighed in alone at the ceremony event as BAKOLE was still en route. Promoter Frank Warren jokingly stood in for the face-off. So let's check out that weigh-in there because you can see it on the video here. So we're going to have a look at that. We've got Hexkin Greenhorn in the house. Who's favored to win? Well, we're going to talk about that. I don't know who's favored, but from my point of view, I'm going to give my opinion on that matchup. So let's have a look at the weigh-in there. We've got a little brief amount here from Sky Sports. So you can see that. And that is Joseph Parker there as well, just weighing in there for the fight. So not bad. I don't want to play too much of that video. It's probably copyrighted. But that's a little bit of him weighing in there, which is pretty cool. Now, some of the fighter statements. Parker, of course, Martin BAKOLE, he's the beast of a fighter. I'm looking forward to challenging him. He's been avoided. Let's get on it. So basically that. Parker has fought, does do a lot of these rogue fights that a lot of other fighters would not do because it's all about the money, right? It's all about the money. But we're getting a few other people out there that do take fights, on the wild card like this. But Parker's definitely done that a lot. Because often things don't work out as people expect, so but they're keen to fight, and Parker's definitely doing that. Parker's definitely, for me, in his peak zone, so we're going to talk about that in a second or two. BAKOLE says, I think I will shock the world tomorrow, so very big confidence. A boxer is like a soldier. Anytime they ask you to go to war, always be ready. And I would say that's true of both Parker and BAKOLE there, both keen for this fight. This fight promises to be basically an intriguing clash of styles. Parker's resilience and boxing skill against BAKOLE's power and momentum made all the more dramatic by its last-minute arrangement. And, of course, this is going to be so exciting. BAKOLE, like I say, he's the one that people fear, right? He's the one that people fear. So it's going to be so exciting to see that play out. Now, I want to say is that we're going to go back to Martin here. And I watched a recent fighter by his. And he fought a fighter that just stood in front of him. Now, Parker's not going to do that if he's got his normal play in game. He's not going to just stand in front of Martin BAKOLE. That would just be a death wish. BAKOLE is a very serious hard hitter. He has at least 3 good punches, including uppercut, a left hook, and, of course, his big right. So he's got a serious power there. That power is pretty hardcore. So you definitely don't want to stand there. And he's very accurate with his punches. So you don't really want to stand there and take it. Parker, of course, is probably the ideal person in terms of being able to avoid him. And there's probably about 2 inches difference. I think Martin BAKOLE is about 6'6" and Parker's about 6'4". Obviously, there's a weight difference there of about 15 pounds, I think it was, give or take. So there's a bit of heavy weight there for BAKOLE. So he's going to be a slightly bigger man in the ring. We'll see that noticeably. And of course, he's quite more rounder style of body as well. So he's going to be the juggernaut inside that ring there. So Parker's definitely going to want to move around a lot, and particularly move to an awkward angle for BAKOLE would be very important there for Parker to win. Now, Parker, of course, probably the fastest hand speed for a boxer. Doesn't always execute it in the gym, doesn't always execute it in the ring, but has been getting way better. This is far closer to the fighter potential that we've always wanted David Parker to be at. And, of course, if he could get some triple punches away, that would be very outstanding. I've still been waiting to see him do that as much as possible. But, of course, you've got to set those up. But if he can get some of those going, that'd be pretty powerful as well. Now, the fact that he's a bit heavier than normal, Joseph Parker at the heaviest weight, that's going to give him just a little edge and power. And that's what his coach has basically said in the ring, that he's been giving this in training. He senses slightly a bit more power there, being with Joseph Parker a bit heavier. The other thing is, of course, he's considered the fittest fighter out there. He's been fighting since he was a child. He's a very good technical boxer, one of the best, if not the best technical boxer in the top heavyweight division. So he's got all these things: fast hand speed, top boxing technique. He can move a lot, and he's got to move a lot. That's going to be one of the critical things, is to move a lot and also have a very clear strategy. And, of course, at the weigh-in, Parker said that he's made some adjustments with his coach to make sure that they can adapt, because obviously he's been, preparing for Deburs, which is a different type of boxer, right? You got to fit the style there. So he's certainly got to keep out of the way there and not get knocked out with that, by standing in front there and just getting hit. And he's not going to do that. He's super experienced, super fast, good technical fighter, and of course he's got that Pacific Island strength as well. Thick bone structure, and so yes, that should bear him well. Also, So as a Kiwi, of course, I'm backing Joseph Parker for the win there, but I understand the power of Martin BAKOLE. So, not going to fade that at all. So you definitely want to keep away from that power as well. So he's going to have to move around a lot, I think, and be very strategic as the fight goes on. I think if BAKOLE is going to actually do some knockout stuff, it's going to be in the first couple of rounds. If he gets that lucky punch, or if he I don't think he's going to outbox Joseph Parker at all. I think that's night and day from my point of view. But I think that if Joseph Parker does make a mistake and just stands there, which I don't think he's going to do because he's so good at moving around the ring, that he's going to continue to go on through those rounds. Remember, it's 12-round boxing, and therefore he'll survive. The longer he survives, the more tired Martin BAKOLE is going to get, and especially the fact that he hasn't, had that peak training. He has been training consistently as a regular boxer, but he's going to, because he went back to Congo for a bit of a holiday with the family, but he's got jet lag, he's got that tiredness there, and of course he's probably having a good sleep if he's wise before going into this boxing fight. So that's kind of where we are with Martin BAKOLE. So as the rounds get later and later, that's definitely going to favor Joe, the fitter fighter. Even though he's heavier, he'll be a lot fitter. He's used to going a long number of rounds as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I love this matchup. It's real a boxer technique, super fast boxer technique in the heavyweight versus a big heavy hitter. And we're going to definitely see Joe. If Joe moves around, stays aggressive. Joe has to be aggressive at the right time, and he's been showing that more and more at this phase of his boxing career. Something he didn't show as much, 3 or 4 years ago. But he's got a new trainer, and obviously won the last fights with two big names. And of course, one of them was the big Zhang heavyweight from China there, which is going to be on the undercard actually in this fight. So that's pretty exciting. Hope you guys enjoyed my view of it. Let me know your view of this fight, Joseph Parker or Martin BAKOLE. And of course, it's only on in about 10, 11 hours from now. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it, something different, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.